Hello and welcome to Clearview Television. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. OBJ thrills soccer fans with goal to mark 85th birthday. Lagos State government to investigate sharing of petrol as souvenir in party. Jamb authorities inspect ongoing registration of UTME in Lagos State, vow to surmount challenges. I am Nten Ekban. Welcome to the news in details. Now, the number of Nigerians evacuated from war-torn Ukraine have increased to 779. Now, these Nigerians took shelter in Romania, Poland, and Hungary as they returned home in 3 batches following Russian invasion of Ukraine. The federal government says it also provided temporary accommodations for those who are yet to be airlifted back home. Having survived what looks like the concentration camp, these young Nigerians finally arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in 3 batches. Deploying the principle of citizen diplomacy, these Nigerians were picked up by the federal government from various locations in Europe. Certainly they have their stories to tell. One after the other, they narrate their ordeals with the roaring Russian forces and the discriminating Ukrainian officials. Nigerian government promised to not relent in its drive to ensure the safety of its nationals wherever they reside. The evacuation of these Nigerians was triggered by the ongoing war occasioned by Russian invasion of its neighbor, Ukraine. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Olusegun thrills fans in a novelty football match to mark his 85th birthday. Let's now join Ime Fonokon for some gist on the entertainment world.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment Corner. I am Ime Fonokon. Here we present to you entertaining stories, light-hearted packages to gladden your heart. In this segment, we've been feeding you with stories hovering around actors and actresses, musicians, clubbing, and more. But how will you take it if I tell you that my curtain raiser today in entertainment is former President Olusegun Obasanjo? Did you ask how? You have asked well. Obasanjo has always been known for his active participation in the world political affairs and governance to the extent that he appears not to have time for relaxation. I tell you, we are seeing him differently today. OBJ, as he is fondly called, was involved in a football match as a key player. OBJ the footballer. The match was one of the activities marking his 85th birthday anniversary. Happy birthday, Baba. His side took on the Ogun State government team in a novelty match as part of activities lined up for his great day.
I will ask them to remember what I call dreams. Dreams. 1, diet. 2, rest. 3, exercise. 4, medical examination, medical attention. And 5, social interaction.
OBJ's team won 4 goals to 2 against the Ogun State government team. Dignitaries present at the historic and entertaining match were 91-year-old former President of Benin Republic Nisfor, Deputy Governor of Ogun State Nedmot Oyedele, and good old mathematical Shegun Odepami, who is a former Nigeria international. Recollect, Obasanjo was embroiled in controversy regarding his third-term agenda, a plan to modify the constitution so he could serve a third 4-year term as president. This led to a political media uproar in Nigeria, and the bill was not ratified by the National Assembly. Consequently, Obasanjo stepped down after the April 2007 general election. In an exclusive interview granted to a national television, Obasanjo denied involvement in what has been defined as third-term agenda. He said it was the National Assembly that concluded tenure elongation amongst other clauses of the Constitution of Nigeria that were to be amended. Hear him. I never toyed with the idea of a third term. Well, that's all we have for you today on Entertainment News. Many thanks for joining us. Do enjoy your weekend. I am Imefon Okon. Back to you, Inten.
Thank you, Mefon, and indeed, happy birthday to former Nigerian President Olusegun Olusegun. Now, moving to other stories, Dr. Olubode Ojoni of the Department of Languages and Linguistics of Osun State University Ikire campus has blamed female students for the menace of sex for marks in Nigerian higher institutions. Now, recollect the Union Osun Governing Council terminated Ojoni's appointment after he was caught on video having an amorous relationship with one of his students, Mercy Ikwe. He appeared nude on a bed in a hotel room and caressing Ms. Ikwe in the video clip. Ojoni's sex act was captured in a video which is believed to have been carefully recorded by the female student. The female student was said to have been pressurized by Ojoni for sex, and she eventually agreed and followed him to their agreed place with a laptop computer from which she pretended to be watching a movie. Things fall apart. Unknown to him, Ms. Ikwe was actually recording the sexual activities. Ojoni had accused one of the lecturers of the university, who was recently dismissed for alleged misconduct, as the person behind the drama. According to him, the lady was contracted to blackmail him, but Ojoni did not deny being the one in the video. However, the National Industrial Court in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, acquitted him of the charges recently and ordered the university to pay him his arrears for the time he was suspended and duration which his terminated appointment lasted. But reliving his experience after he was reinstated, the lecturer alleged that weak female students always make advances for sexual relationship with lecturers to gain favor and boost their marks. Clearview TV is therefore asking, do we now have sexually transmitted marks? Your guess is as good as mine. The trial of Nollywood actor Olusegun James, popularly known as Babajide James, resumed on Friday at the Lagos State Special Offences Court in Ikeja, with the defendant telling the court that Damilola Adekoya, the guardian of his alleged victim, was his former lover. Babajide James, who was testifying in his own defense, also told Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo that Adekoya, popularly known as Princess, is after him because he ended his relationship with her. The embattled actor is facing 6 counts bordering on allegations of indecent treatment of a child, sexual assault, attempted sexual assault by penetration, and sexual assault by penetration. He had pleaded not guilty to the 6 counts while being led in evidence by his counsel, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Dada Awoshika. Babajide James said, "We were dating, my lord. She always slept in my room. We slept together. I touched her. She touched me. She kissed me, and I kissed her." Parties in certain parts of Nigeria, mostly southwest, are characterized by distribution of souvenirs like barrows, handkerchiefs, cups, and more with different inscriptions like "Thanks for coming," "Jide Wedstina," etc. But wait a minute, have you ever heard of kegs of petrol as souvenirs? Well, it happened in Lagos, and the government has vowed to investigate the sharing at one of the parties and ensure everyone who was part of the action faces the law. So says the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho. In a statement, he said there is no doubt that this action is dangerous and can lead to loss of lives and property, adding that it is against all safety measures in such places. Omotosho emphasized the fact that the safety of lives and property of Lagosians and visitors remains a priority to the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration. Indeed. Welcome to Nigeria. Now, moving ahead, the new Turban village head of Diku Mary community of the Maturu Emirate Council, Alhaji Abakari Ibn Buka El Kanemi, has urged the people of his domain to support the policies and programs of the state and the emirate to achieve greatness. The village head gave the advice shortly after his turbaning. He spoke to Clearview TV correspondent Modu Bemi Gujba in Damaturu.
Speaking exclusively to Clearview Television at his residence in Damaturu, Alhaji Abakari Ibn Bukar Al-Kanemi said his turbaning as the first village head of the Kumari community has opened up a new chapter in his life. Expressing appreciation to Governor Maimala Buni and the Emir of Damaturu, his approval as village head of Dikumari and his subsequent turbaning, said words are not enough to express his joys and pray to Almighty Allah to reward them abundantly.
I have a very good intention to the people of Govt Council, and even not to only the people of Govt Council, I mean the whole real estate. The whole real estate have a good intention with them, our presence with them, we pray for them, to their fees, to their businesses. That's why, when if you see my town, is gathered by many people, not only the council, the whole of the state and our neighboring state, even our neighboring countries, they came to my town because of the love they gave us.
The occasion, according to him, was a blessing to his entire family, the Kumari community, and urged them to support the policies and programs of the state government, Damaturu local government, and the Emirate Council. The turbaning ceremony was attended by Cruz de la Cruz of personality from various walks of life. The village heads therefore thanked all that graced the occasion and prayers for successful conduct of the ceremony. Modubemi Gujba reporting for Clearview Television from Damaturu.
We'll now take a very short break. When we come back, the news continues. Please stay with us.
Listen to this truth. We are growing by the day, and our viewership keeps growing on our different platforms. We are inviting you to advertise your goods and services with us at incredibly low rates. And do you have news for us? Script or video? Please contact us through our email address, clearviewnewsroom@gmail.com, or WhatsApp line 080-650-30-300. Again, 080-650-30-300. Welcome on board.
Welcome back, and on the rest of the news. The Registrar, Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, says the board has perfected plans to register 50,000 candidates daily. Oloyede disclosed this while on inspection exercise in some computer-based test centers in Lagos State. The board promised to improve on some of the challenges noticed during the test run.
The Jamb registrar, Ishaq Oloyede, led the inspection team to some registration centers to know in practical terms what the challenges of the candidates are. Having gone round some of the centers, Oloyede was in a position to know what the candidates were going through.
The problem is arising from upsurge in number that we are registering every day. We had planned for 50,000 per day, and in the last 4 or 5 days, we were registering well over 50,000. Even yesterday, it was 54,000 candidates. So today, as you can see, we have registered so far 516,000 plus 17,000 direct entry.
The Jamb registrar said, though there was upsurge in the enrollment level, the students who lacked the technical know-how.
Nature, we have seen what the problems are. We are talking to all our service providers, and we make sure that everybody, every service provider expands to accommodate the traffic. When you see a candidate who has the problem, you will see that it's self-inflicted.
It may interest you to know that Jamb is already considering extending the enrollment date to make for the lost time due to network problem.
A priest with the Catholic Diocese of Ilorin, Reverend Father Henry Ayo Sani, on Friday told the Independent Investigation Panel on Human Rights Violation by the defunct SARS and other police units set up by the National Human Rights Commission (NHRC) that despite allegedly gunning his younger brother, Mr. Femi Sani, in Abuja in 2007, the police threatened to kill him too for asking them of his brother's whereabouts. Reverend Father Sani stated these while testifying before the panel during the hearing of a petition he wrote on the alleged killing of his brother, whom he said the police wrongly claimed was an armed robber because they just wanted to kill him. According to the clergy, contrary to the police claim, his late brother was a businessman who owned 2 black industries in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and another one in Ilori, the Kwara State capital. Led in evidence by his counsel, Kolade Akonde, Father Sani informed the panel that he received a phone call from Abuja informing him that his brother had been arrested by the police and that this prompted him to quickly come to Abuja to confirm the incident. He explained to the panel that when he came to Abuja, he went to the FCT Police Command at Garki, where he met one DSP Uzom Manwoha, who was the Police Public Relations Officer PPRO of the command, alleging that the police spokesman threatened to gun him down if he insisted on asking about his brother. The Nigerian government has blamed the upsurge in crime amongst youth in the country on faulty upbringing by parents. Worried by the rate at which young people engage in ritual killing under the pretext of looking for quick wealth, the government has banned the use of scenes depicting ritual killings in movies. However, many are laying the blame at the doorsteps of parents, saying they are not doing enough to give their children good upbringing. In this special report, Clearview TV's Imefono consult the opinion of Abuja residents on who is to be blamed for the rise in ritual killings in the country.
This is not the best of times for the Nigerian youth population. Amidst a variety of challenges facing them, ranging from inadequate access to education, unemployment, and skewed political opportunities, more and more youth are getting involved in ritual killings in their quest to get rich in order to enjoy the good things of life. In 2004, police discovered dozens of corpses at a shrine in Okija in the southeastern state of Anambra, where many of the state's senior politicians regularly visit to swear oath, ask for a deity's blessing, or seek spiritual defense against political enemies. In 2021, a suspected ritual killer was arrested in Port Harcourt while attempting to sacrifice a 9-year-old girl in the Iba community. Inyebon Umorin, a young woman in her early 20s, was also murdered for ritual purpose in Akwa Ibom State. And recently, police in Ogun State arrested 4 teenagers in connection with the killing of 20-year-old Sofiat Kinde for ritual purposes. Following the trend of rituals in the country, on 14 February, Nigeria's House of Representatives urged the Nigerian federal government to declare a state of emergency on the rising incidents of ritual killings in the country. The question on the lips of many is, who is to blame for the rise in ritual killings among Nigerian youth?
In the society of today, you see that working class mother, working class father, at the end of the day, the mother and the father will leave the house early in the morning. So thereby, the primary assignment as a mother is not there. So a child grow up in the hands of mates. So whatever the mate says is what the child would do.
Cannot just blame the government. The government has a role to play. The families have a role to play. And also our value system, our value orientations, the value of what are our values.
Bible says, train up a child the way he should grow. When he grow, he will not depart from it.
When you don't teach your children how to be hardworking and become who they're supposed to be, if they want shortcuts, they don't want to follow the normal routes. So if the parents fail to train their children, that's when you see all these kind of things happening.
Amidst the growing uncertainties, what can be done to curb the growing rates of ritual killings among the youth?
Government have to play their role effectively. They have to ensure adequate education, ensure that all youth are in school. They have to do something. They should not be left alone, wandering in the streets. and they have to regulate their activities. The activities of the youth are not being regulated.
Okay, yes, just like what we are doing now, creating awareness, talking about it, bringing out the bad effect about it. Churches will talk about it, mosques will talk about it, our traditional rulers will talk about it, communities will talk about it. Our agencies that has to do with orientation, the National Orientation Agency should go out and launch a full campaign, going from community to community if possible, to begin to teach children, go to schools, begin to tell them the reason why they should not go that way, that the dangers of it.
I don't think going into ritual is the way out. There are better ways. Even if there is no job, you can learn handwork.
A cursory look at reported cases of ritual killings in Nigeria shows that a majority of the victims are themselves youth. So, can this be the case of dog eating dog? Or could this generation of Nigerians be engaged in self-destruction, all in the name of searching for unmerited wealth that hardly lasts for long? For those who blame social media influence, can Nigerian youth be said to be those only caught up with the negative influence among their peers across the world? Questions, questions, and questions, begging for answers. Imefon Okon, reporting for Clearview Television.
The Department of State Services has raised the alarm over the training of suicide bombers to attack the northeast by the Islamic State of West Africa province. The DSS director in charge of Adamawa State, Babagana Bulama, raised the alarm in Maiduguri, Borno State. Bulama, who restated the commitment of the DSS to the war against insurgency and enhanced national security, spoke at the 2022 First Zonal Quarterly Conference of State Directors of Security, Northeast Region. He reiterated the commitment of the service towards ensuring national security in line with its statutory mandate. Bulama stressed the readiness of the service to sustain harmonious working relationship with relevant stakeholders in national security management. The director disclosed that available intelligence showed that the splinter Boko Haram terrorist group ISWAP was training suicide bombers in the northeast region. Bulama said that the group was training suicide bombers to carry out attacks on security agencies and vulnerable communities. Russia's defense ministry says Russia has declared a partial ceasefire this Saturday to allow humanitarian corridors out of the Ukrainian cities of Mariupol and Volnovakha. Ukraine said it planned to evacuate 200,000 people from Mariupol and 15,000 from Volnovakha, with the Red Cross acting as the guarantor of the ceasefire. Meanwhile, Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshkiro has warned that Russia must not take advantage of an agreed humanitarian corridor to advance its troops. She said her government was verifying information that Russian troops were using the ceasefire to move closer to Ukraine positions in areas along the evacuation routes. Vereshkiro also confirmed that the International Committee of the Red Cross mediated the talks on the ceasefire and will head the evacuation columns along the agreed routes out of the cities.
Так працюють російські ракети. Почався обстріл Івано-Франківського аеродрому.
Sounds from Ukraine there. And just before we go on the news, another look at the major stories. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Olusegun has called for regular exercise as an antidote to aging. OBJ spoke shortly after a novelty football match between his side OOPL and the Ogun State government team to mark his 85th birthday. And Lagos State government has vowed to investigate the sharing of petrol at a party as souvenirs. Commissioner for Information and Strategic Bengal Motor in a statement said such action is dangerous and can lead to loss of lives and property. Do remember to like us on Facebook at Clearview Television, follow us on Twitter at Clearview TV, on Instagram at Clearview TV-NG, and also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV. I am N10, and thanks for watching. Good evening.